you work for something new, you get something different.
We need to develop the human beings.
Good people that are just trying to change things in their neighborhoods.
I've been fighting hard on the other side.
Making a decision between the good and the evil.
This is the sort of government that we are trying to throw out.
Whoever leads government will either fail this country or progress this country.
4 weeks to go before Papua New Guineans elect representatives to the 11th Parliament since independence. These are important weeks for candidates to pitch their profiles and political parties to sell their policies. And we, here at EMTV, have endeavored to educate our voters on the election on our weekly program, Your Vote Matters. John Eggins has talked to regulators and party leaders to give voters an insight into this captive national event that's played out every 5 years. This time, a number of significant events or issues have come to the forefront. Firstly, the narrative on female representation in Parliament has never been louder. A total of 142 females are contesting the open and governance seat across the country. The number may not be as high as the last election, but this time there is a real sense of determination by the women themselves.
This is our time. Since independence, there has been male leaders only.
Secondly, we have never had two people and two political parties push their case for the top job this early into an election. Every leader of a party has the right under our laws to form government and become the prime ministership, as long as he has the numbers after the election. But still, over 2 months to go, James Marape of Pangu and Peter O'Neill of PNC appear far ahead as front runners. They are even behaving as such. Political punters have already placed their bets on the two. It will be a referendum of both leaders, a judgment of their time together in government from 2011 to 2019, and when Marape ousted O'Neill until now. Both leaders appeared on the Your Vote Matters program. Among issues and policies discussed, the UBS loan saga was inevitable. Firstly, Mr. Marape.
Those of us to be referred, consistent with the Ombudsman findings, referred to the Leadership Tribunal, or more importantly for me also, UBS, oil sets, PEC LNG, the greatest benefactor of the $900 million. We will go into ascertaining who can repay Papua New Guinea for the money that was lost.
Then Mr. O'Neill appeared on Your Vote Matters.
UBS is an issue that has been politicized and misunderstood. The reports are there, the Commission of Inquiry report is there, and I fully accept the recommendations of the report. I fully accept it. Whatever references they've made against me, I'm quite happy to face it.
Another standout in this election is the number of political parties, over 50. Some are represented in Parliament today, others are hopeful in the coming House. Their policies are not new, and they don't differ from one party to another. PNG National Party leader Kerenga Kua says the parties are merely prioritizing development agendas that have been there many years.
You pick those few policies that are already in place and you advance them. And the others take their own place. But you got to be able to pick the first 4 or 5 or 6 core policy platforms that are already there, and you run them forward. So the question is more about prioritization, picking your right priorities.
Mr. Kua talks more on this on Your Vote Matters at 7 tonight. One of the first to come on this show was Robert Neil Curry of the League for National Advancement Party. He at least comes up with an idea of a upper and lower house.
If we separate the house, at least it gives the country comfort that there is a place where all these things can be reviewed.
PNG party leader Belden Nama wants to revisit a pre-independence concept of national service. PNG party also wants landowners of extractive resource to be direct shareholders and not the government. Governments, he says, should be regulators and tax collectors.
If it's only 1,000 people and they're going to make 150 billion US dollars, so be it. They are Papua New Guineans. Allow them to be.
People's Movement for Change leader Gary Jufa sounded the alarm bells when he spoke of organized crime with overseas links have already taken a foothold in PNG.
It's like blood in the water. It's going to draw sharks. You're going to have transnational criminals turning up.
A subsequent law or review of existing provisions addressing organized crime is a worthy election platform. History tells us that many of the political parties going into this election will not return members. Some will prevail, however, with 1 or 5. But the bigger party of Pangu, the People's National Congress, National Alliance, can expect to win enough numbers to be called by the Governor-General to form the government. Whichever party that is, it can at least be guaranteed the support of the Social Democratic Party.
We're friends to all, enemies to none. We will be in government after the next coming months. We don't plan to be in the opposition at all.